Welcome back, you guys, to Canon Events. I'm your host, Trevor, and I'm freaking excited this week to dive right in to One Piece chapter 1185 entitled, Y'all Better Buzz Off. Okay, now I presume that that's going to come from Brook's voice, but we'll figure that out. First of all, we know this chapter is going to be fire because Oda started it off not only with literal fire on the cover page, but with the hottest anime waifu of all time, Boa Hancock-sama. Oh, Boa-sama, and she's in her Chichibukai, like, I guess, royal regalia garb. This is her Amazon Lily, high priestess garb. And, just so tactful, so distinctly tactful. There's so much taste that goes into the design, and babies. So, the most important thing that we need to understand here is that Oda has unshackled himself. The other chapter, we saw a demonstration of something that Oda's not allowed to do enough of, which is to use euphemism and double entendre. Now he is using both of those and also innuendo. And guys, I don't know if we know each other very well, but I'm sure you can assume whose endo I would like to be in this picture. It's not the pork chops that the goddess queen Boa Hancock is flambeing. That's right, people. She's flambeing a pork chop. She's flambeing a pork chop. Do you guys know what that means? Are we aware that that is a double entendre, sexual innuendo? Because Oda is, and I'm really happy to see him using these literary devices, you guys. I think that him branching out with these interactions that he has with us, because that's what these cover pages are. These are interactions. This is him being playful with us, okay? This isn't him teasing the future always. And we really like to speculate that these cover title pages, that these cover pages are somehow predicting the future and showing us teases, and sometimes they are. Sometimes they are. Sometimes they're actually showing us canon events in the timeline. This may be a canon event, but what Oda is doing with these is interacting with people, like he's interacting with cover request by Masako, who simply asked to see Hancock honing her cooking skills for Luffy. Okay, he didn't ask Oda, hey Oda, could you draw a 20 out of 10 cover story and illustrate the definition of the literary device innuendo? No, he didn't. He didn't. Did he ask Oda to capture the cultural zeitgeist for choking the chicken to Boa Hancock? No, he didn't. But Oda said a few chapters ago, everybody thinks Elbaf is a hallucination. I'm going to draw a pink elephant. I'm going to tease and tantalize the theorists who can understand this entendre, this layered reference. Now, Oda is doing the same, but to the fappers, to the gooners. Okay, this is goon coded. He has coded a reference about the gooners, about One Piece gooners and One Piece goonage, that he is aware that we are flambeing pork chops, choking chickens, if you will, to the queen goddess, Boa Hancock. And he supports, this is a pro-flambe art piece. This is pro-flambe propaganda, okay, you guys? So if you are out there flambeing your pork chops to Boa Hancock, just take this as official confirmation that Oda, a man who married a Nami cosplayer, supports you in every way. Okay, moving on. Wow, what a great day. Oh my god, he's definitely a Navy clan member. What? Wait, dude. Colonel, make Brook your page. Teach him good manners and to speak properly. You got it, Lord Luvin. Little heart emoji. Wow, the palace. The palace is packed with cute babes. Oh, Brook, He started from a young age. There's one hottie, two hotties. Not her. No! Three hotties. Oh, that's not nice, Brook. That's fucking crazy. There's one hottie, two hottie, not you. Like, you're cool, not you. You guys know the real. I can't say those words. It's really the video. Fuck you, you're cool, and fuck you, I'm out. Okay. Like, oh, cut it out. Don't worry, you're still number one, Candle. That's Lady Candle. You're my page now. Excuse me. Can I see your panties? Ah! Brook! Hey, do you have an issue with wearing your school uniform? If I let that school cramp my style, I won't be able to jam and make good tunes anymore. Don't worry though, I'm looking forward to rocking a guard corps uniform one day. Aw, he sleeps with his guitar. That's very sweet. And look, she definitely loves him. Like, she has a lot of love in her heart. I don't think that she's a God's Knight as we've seen them, at least. I got to admit, I'm jealous. I can't believe this kid gets to be Lady Candle's page. He looks like Marco the Phoenix. Yo! He looks like Gold Roger. Candle, do you have a type of guy you go for? Lady Candle, there is one man, but he's out of my league. Still, the reason I train so hard with the sword is to be by his side. I bet you'd get him if you dress more like a chick instead of a dude. Oh my god. Oh my god, Brooks. Is Brook in the manosphere? Brook, this is a little too based for your characterization, bro. I know you're a pervert, but I didn't know you were... Oh, it's fucking chauvinist, Brook. It's crazy. That's not necessary. Being near him is more than enough for me. Huh? Near him? Does that mean it's me? Bro's the king of delusion. Of course not! The Nami reactions are real. Lady Candle, Lady Candle, don't tell me you even wear men's underwear. I don't. Really? Then you've got to let me see your panties. Brook, your language is not improving. You have to be polite and use honorifics when you ask someone a favor. Brook's like, would you be so kind as to show me your panties? Ah! A star was born! A star was born! You got the twinkle, 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 twinkle. Bing! Of course not. Even outside of politeness, you need to consider basic decency too. I'm going to drill good etiquette into you. Good grief. Oh, she made him crawl through the streets like a dog? I feel like he enjoyed that. Strength and etiquette go hand in hand. What? Then I'll do my best. I mean, I shall endeavor to give it my all. That's why he talks like that. There's not a soul around who doesn't admire Lady Candle. And there's little Shuri Gunko. She shines like the sun over the whole nation. Now that I think about it, there was one time a world government ship drifted up here in Esperia. The kingdom was thrown into a panic as no one had ever dealt directly with people of such stature. Huh? The celestial dragons? Yep. The pressure was overwhelming. Look at the boots. Jeez. I don't think anyone's going to be theorizing that Brook isn't wearing pants under his boots this time, like they were talking about Kendall. We can tell Shuri is not wearing pants, but Brook is definitely wearing pants, and we don't want to see. I someone color this with him wearing a skirt because I just traumatized the whole internet. I think the proportions of Brook's legs are a little off. I'm not gonna lie, this motherfucker is a little too tall. He's like 14 feet tall. Yep, the pressure was overwhelming. Lady Kendall was actually bedridden for a few months after that, probably due to stress. Okay. Alright, she's a godsend. You wouldn't believe how dark the kingdom felt back then. Yo! I shouldn't laugh. But it really was like the sun set in our kingdom. But that was just the beginning. You wouldn't believe the influx of news that followed, Princess. Your father, the renowned rugged prince, ascended the throne. And at the same time, he married your mother, Lady Candle. The celebrations across Esperia were as thrilling as a live concert. And then we were blessed by your birth, Princess Shuri. So you're telling me. So you're telling me that I'm supposed to believe that there's no connection, and that Brook is really so dumb, and he's in his 20s, to believe that a celestial dragon ship showed up, caused a huge commotion. Then Lady Candle is bedridden for months and gives birth after marrying the king after. And he doesn't, and there's no math that goes into this. He didn't make no fucking algebra equation in his brain to put things together, because I'm calling bullshit here. I think Brook understands that something happened. Brook was there. Okay, hold on. He's just not telling her. I think he's concealing the truth. He's playing music, so he's like, and then we were blessed by your birth. Ba-na-na-na-na-na, Princess Shuri. Oh, but she's not even vibing with music. She's kind of taken aback by the story. She hasn't heard this side of the story yet. Ba-na-na-na-na. Well, the nation positively bubbled with joy. People were always saying, I want to see her face, or she's so cute, or she takes after her mother. Oops, I'm getting off topic. But you get the picture. That's why I love your folk. They're my ultimate benefactors. In fact, I'd gladly relinquish my life for those two. Check out my latest hit, Relinquish Ra. Mommy and daddy. So Brook, what would you do if I were in danger? That's obvious. I'd lay down my life in a heartbeat for you too. Is that just because I'm their daughter? No. It's because you're you. You're supposed to say that wholeheartedly, without hesitation. And he pulls out a lollipop, and that's all it takes. That's literally, I hope that is exactly how we deal with Emu too. So they're training. He's training her, just as Candle trained him. Very sweet, but very important to know that Shuri was trained by Brook. She's like, hey, daddy. He's like, use father instead. You're not a little girl anymore. And he's sweating though, because he's a king who takes care of his own yard. That's really, really impressive to me. He's not a celestial dragon type of king. This is a king who grew up and he appreciates being poor. He appreciates being human, dude. And he likes to cut his hedges, man. As someone who likes to cut my own hedges, dude, I get that. You gotta stay in touch with your land. It was very good. But he's not super happy to see this weirdness between, Brook and his daughter. But Lady Candle, for some reason, having, I guess, raised this pervert, is cool with it. I don't know, bro. This is a fucking Epstein Island right now. Wait, what happened? Princess Shuri, if you're craving freedom from your parents, you know you can always vent it out with a song like this. Y'all better buzz off. Why do those lyrics sound so weird? It's a dialect from a kingdom in the west called Kamigata. Y'all better buzz off. We ain't pups bought off with treats. We ain't kids turned around by sweets. Y'all better buzz off. I didn't notice this. This is very funny. Just trying to stand taller. Oh, look. And Shuri is kind of foreshadowing really hard Brook's Yomi Yomi no Mi like spirit form, and she's scaring him with like a skull ghost. That's very funny. Shuri, of course, like rejecting a suitor because Brook is hitting on some other girl that's not her. And they're out there in the junkyard together fishing, just making sure that Shuri knows her roots. Candle is teaching Shuri how to cook. Brook likes it, but she's exhausted from cooking. There's Shuri is like acting like his wife in the hospital after he apparently broke a leg. Oh my god. Imagine Brook breaking a leg and like having to go to the hospital for it. In Shuri's 15th year, Igaram reference! It's an Igaram reference! I had a feeling that Igaram was gonna have some connection to Esperia. Guys, Igaram was from Esperia. Confirmed. Confirmed! In Shuri's 15th year. It's out of tune. Ma. Hold on, bro. Is that what he's doing? This is an Igaram reference. This is an Igaram reference for sure, bro. In Shuri's 15th year, music died in the kingdom of Esperia. A thick mist shrouded the country and lingered for half a year. The land's treasured instruments decayed as the mist turned to smog. The island was swallowed as a whole. Music no longer echoed through the streets. Joyful melodies gave way to the sound of coughing. Let's bring on the music! Yeah! The toxic smog ravaged the lungs of thousands and claimed the lives of hundreds. The fog will clear! It must! Beset by one unimaginable tragedy after another, the kingdom knew nothing but suffering. Even after the fog had lifted, the scars it caused remained. Is that Brook here? Oh my goodness. King Leuven survived. Candle. What could have caused this fog? I like to point out that like all of the natural disasters that we see are usually related to like air or atmosphere, and we've seen this giant, you know, ancient weapon in the sky. We've seen the beams from the sky. I think the only one that Imu has is Uranus, and so he's manipulating like environment related to the atmosphere, and that's, you know, he can't do earthquakes, he can't do tidal waves, but he can do like laser beams. He can create mist and smog and fuck up your sunlight and all that. That makes sense. A truly devastating panel of Shuri and Brook and Leuven. Your Highness, we still owe the world government this year's heavenly tribute, but we can't afford to pay them. Ka-ching! Cha-ching! Hiya! Whoa there, princess. The way you move, it's like you can see the future. I'm gonna be just like mommy. I mean mother. I think you would be well suited for that, but I doubt your father would be pleased at the notion of you fighting on the front lines, princess. Father, he seems troubled lately. I have an idea why, but there's nothing we can do about it. I will simply follow the king to the very end. Didn't you want to become a pirate, Brook? I'm happy to put my own dreams on hold while I repay my debt to his majesty. When the time comes, I'm going with you. Absolutely not! Try and stop me! The world government is our enemy. This means war! Understood. Commander? Your Majesty, I just ask that you tell us your reasoning first. Brook! They demanded 1,000 slaves. That is the only way they would waive this year's heavenly tribute. Slavery in the Holy Land is a fate worse than death. No way. The government's armada will arrive in 2 months. And I have no intention of choosing human sacrifices to hand over to them. Is our country done for, Commander? Don't all non-member nations turn into lawless zones? Are they really gonna loot us for everything we've got? Apparently there was once another nation in the West Blue that disappeared too. It's happened before. It's happened before? I've heard there's all these tales out where the deadly sea wind wails about a land that makes the mighty shake with fear, a land they won't ever dare to come near, a home for the samurai and them giant folk. It exists like all the tales spoke. Like a mean old bee, a sting they'll flee. They said to consider your views, 'cause we got nothing left to lose. 'Cause we got nothing left to lose. And he's made the people cry and laugh at the same time. He's brought out this pathos that truly is the most vital resource in a time like this. But look at his cape. Look at all he's gone through. I think that's Gandalf's cape, honestly. They've landed at the North Port. Platoon 12, intercept. Y'all better buzz off. Ching, 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 ching. Nobody said there'd be this many of them. Don't let them set foot on the island. Y'all better buzz off. We're out here on the map's edge, but don't y'all scoff. Our name ain't something that can be wiped with ease. Shink! You'll find taking our home ain't gonna be no breeze. This is gonna be a crazy scene in the anime. Commander, the enemy has breached the palace. I'll hold the barricade at the staircase. Why can't I fight too? That's out of the question. We'll be at their mercy if they capture you. Don't have any crazy ideas now, Princess. Oh man, Princess, the garden we always walked in. It's been set ablaze. Oh, Your Majesty, the junkyard we used to play in has been reduced into a hellish inferno. Y'all better buzz off, y'all better buzz off. The edge of the map's a hell of a sight, 'cause it shines mighty bright. If we finally snap for real, that shaking is all you feel. Shink, 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 shink. And he's singing his way through this battlefield. The humming swordsman. Oh, hold on. Oh my god. Your Majesty, Princess Shuri. Oh my god. Oh my god. Is that Shiryu of the Mist? Why do you think they call him Shiryu of the Mist? This is the Itsumade. What the fuck is happening? What the fuck is happening? Brook enters the chamber to see what looks like Shiryu of the Mist. Does Blackbeard have a God's Knight on his team? How did Shiryu get in jail? What is this Black Admiral jacket? Is this similar enough to the God's Knight attire that we've seen Shanks and Shamrock in, so that we can assume that he's a God's Knight? I'm not sure. What we are seeing is that something happened here that involved both Shuri and Leuven, because he has a wing there, getting Domi reversing. And it involves Shiryu of the Mist. Shiryu is how old? Shuri says, worried about the war? It's already over, Brook. Whoa. Brook is as shocked as I am. We see Luffy with horns coming out of his head. Shuri's eyes are completely glazed over with like a devilish light. She has little horns. She has... I mean, this is very similar to the attire that we see her in to this day in battle. So maybe that because... maybe the Shuri Gunko we've seen this whole time has been a Domi reversing version, and that like if she's properly defeated, she would flip over. Wouldn't that be a convenient way for the reunion to happen? And also, from what we've seen of Domi Reversi, doesn't this mean that Luffy isn't dead at this point? So what's gonna happen? Technically, this means that Luffy's about to flip over, right? And Harold should have flipped over. Well, Harold had the Covenant. Did Luffy have the Covenant? And then he Domi Reversi Shuri? Or did... it's very confusing. And what is the Itsumade doing here? Who is the Itsumade at this point in time? Could it be that Imu still retained the power of the Itsumade at that time? We know it's not Shiryu. But this is for sure, this is Shiryu, right? Shiryu of the Mist. Maybe Shiryu was responsible for creating the Mist. This is 100% Shiryu. Shiryu of the Rain. He was imprisoned for excessive violence against the prisoners. It looks like Shiryu, bro. I don't know if the time lines up. How old is he supposed to be? Age is only 42. 40. No, the time doesn't line up. Is it Shiryu's dad? Could it be that this is like Shiryu's ancestor? We've seen a lot of parentage here. Whoever this dude is, it looks like Shiryu. He's dressed like Shiryu, but it can't be Shiryu. I think the chin and the nose are a little different now that I look at it. I don't like it. Okay, so major things in this chapter to think about this week. Obviously, what the heck happened here? That is literally what happened here is the epithet of the chapter. But I think very important things to think about this week is what happened leading up to Shuri's birth. Okay, is Shuri special? Yes. Shuri is special. Imu inhabits Shuri. Imu doesn't inhabit St. Summers or St. Keelingham. They get omens. Something is special about Shuri. Is she the child of Imu? Is she the child of a CD, a celestial dragon? Was the Queen Candle, was she of a certain lineage that could enable a vessel? Something happened when that world government ship showed up, and then Candle was out of commission, and then they got married, and then they had a baby. That is the order of operations that we were presented with today. Does that tell us something? And yes, it does. I think that it tells us right away that Candle was before the wedding and likely by a celestial dragon. Something horrific happened there. Something terrible happened after that battle that put Candle out of commission for several months. It wasn't just the pregnancy. It wasn't just the pregnancy. And then if we look back to the wedding scene, was Candle visibly pregnant there? I should have paid attention to that at the time, but let's go back. Enhance. Computer enhance. She does not look to be pregnant. She looks as thin as ever. If anything, homie looks to be pregnant. Very interesting. I don't know what to say. It does seem to be implied that Shuri was conceived before the marriage, and then I really do think we have to find out more about this. This Igaram reference is undeniable. Igaram came from the country of music, for sure. For sure. This is like Igaram's dad. I mean, this whole sequence establishes Shuri as just a kid, like just a sweet kid who's honestly being raised right. She's being raised right. All of our suspicions about Candle for now have been swayed. All of our suspicions about Shuri for now have been swayed. It really seems like something happened that stole, I guess, Luffy's joy, or his mojo, when this celestial dragon ship appeared. And then Luffy got fat and old and angry after that. Kendall is pregnant, has a baby. That doesn't really look like him. I think that's only part of it, though. I think that Leuven or Kendall had to accept a seal, had to accept a deal. How else would Leuven have gotten turned? One of them had to have accepted a deal first. I think you have to accept that deal. I think Imu can't force that deal on you. So I think that Leuven had to accept the deal. And that maybe he made the deal to break the smog or something. I don't know. There's a lot going on here, guys. It's very, 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 very perplexing. But this man isn't the same man that we saw raising Brook. This is not the same man. Something in him died. And we're gonna have to find out what happened, you guys, because I really don't think this flashback is over. I think it's going to be continued when we clash with Imu and Brook, or when Shuri gets out of the ice and gets to talk to Brook. I need to know what happened. The fandom is alive, talking about how this is a Davy kingdom, how this is a kingdom of the Davy clan, and I see it. I see it. There are people throughout this kingdom that look like Davy members. Okay, and you got to imagine that there was a world where the Davy clan was just out and about. They have Roger mustaches, and they have Wapol hair, and they have Marco the Phoenix hair, and all of these people, Igaram's dad, where did the Davy go to mate? You know, where did they go to make their babies, if not some sort of land of Davies? And I think that this might have been one of them. It really does have the vibe of a nation of free people, of music-loving, freedom-loving people. And there's, look, I mean, there's just people playing music in the streets, just having a good time. The kids are well taken care of. There's no major crimes happening in this country, as we've seen in all of the other countries. Like, literally every single other country has been just a cesspool. And even Yugu Kingdom was fucked. Dude. We had Horty Jones in the gang running shit. So this kingdom shines like a light. It's like a dawn in the darkness. I see it. I see the Davy theories. I agree with the Davy theories. I think that she's probably the least Davy person in the kingdom. But we still haven't gotten last names. We still haven't seen Candle D. Tar. We haven't seen Davy D. Brook or Davy D. Reuven or anyone. We haven't talked about Brook's brother in this chapter. So we still need to find out that Brook's brother was fucking Zebek. Okay, for sure Zebek. Okay, now I want to remind you, what is a Zebek? A Zebek is a Mediterranean sailing ship used by the Barbary Corsairs or Buccaneers. It was flipped and used by the Spanish Navy. We already saw Zebek get flipped. I googled, is a brook a type of ship? A bark. It's a type of sailing vessel with 3 masts, used by the Royal Navy. Were they naming their kids after boats because they wanted to be free? They wanted to escape wherever they were from? You guys, we've got a lot of things to speculate about this week. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to hit that like button down below and subscribe for more canon events content. We got all sorts of other content I'm trying to get out to you, so stay tuned for that. And most importantly, take care of yourselves until next time. We got a break next week, so we got a little bit of time to think and speculate what's gonna happen next in One Piece. We're gonna be out, people.